A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalam ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tamam bil khair. Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Walaikum salam.
Is my connection okay? Because I'm using
Walaikum salam.
connection B today. I'm not sure how good it is. The main broadband connection isn't working. So I hope this works fine. Okay, so let's go. Let's revise the lesson we were learning earlier, and then we'll do bits of the story in case we have time. And from tomorrow's class, inshallah, we'll learn the next lesson. That is what we will do. Now, question to Sadia. This lesson is about describing your school and your classroom. How do you say this is my school? How do you say this?
Hazihi madrasati.
Very good. Hatihi madrasati. Let me see if we have Adnan in the call. No, we don't. Still don't have Adnan. Is Adnan around, Sadia?
He's in class, Sahib.
No, he is not on audio. Okay.
He's connecting now. Yes.
Okay. So Hatihi madrasati. This is my school. How will you say this is my bag? Bag is hadiqatun. Bag is hadiqatun is bag. And now how do you say this is my bag? Sadia.
Hazihi hadiqati.
Very good. Hatihi hadiqati would be this is my bag. Very good. How will you say these are my books?
Hazihi kutubi.
Very good. And why will you use hadihi?
Because these.
These, but this is haula, you know. Why would you not say haula'i kutubi?
Because you're talking about my books.
Okay, but it could be also be haula'i kutubi. How will you say these are my brothers? Where brother is ikhwanun. Ikhwanun is brothers. How will you say these are my brothers?
Haulai ikhwani.
Very good. But why do you use haulai here? Because brothers is plural. And books is also plural.
Because brothers is male and haulai maybe no. Not sure.
Okay, so you give the correct answer, but we'll understand it a little more. So here you'll use haulai.
Sahib, can you hear me?
Ha, mama. Now I can hear you.
Haqibati kya, Sahib?
Haqibati. No, this hadiqa I think is garden. Haqiba is bag. Correct. Just to be haulai haqibati. We will check. Hadiqa is garden. Haqiba is bag. So it should actually be Haqibati. Correct. Hadika's garden. It has to be Haqibati. Hadihi Haqibati would be this is my bag. And here for these are my brothers, we would use Ha'ulai. Ikhwani, because Ikhwanun is plural, and to say these are my brothers, you would use Ha'ulai Ikhwani. Now, who remembers what do we say for sisters? One sister is Ukhtun. How do you say many sisters? Ukhtun is one sister. You'd say Akhawatun. Akhawatun is sisters. Now, Sadhya, how will you say these are my sisters? Now, this is feminine. How will you say these? Will you use Hatihi?
Hazihi. Hazihi.
You'll actually say Ha'ulai. We'll use Ha'ulai, Akhawati, because Ha'ulai is human plural. You use Ha'ulai for human plural, both masculine and feminine. So you will say Ha'ulai, Ikhwati, Ha'ulai, Akhawati, Ha'ulai, Rijalun, Ha'ulai, Nasun. But here you use Dihi for Kutubi because Kutubi is non-human plural. Kutubun is books. Books is non-human. You'll treat non-human plural as she. So you'll say she is books, and that is how the grammar works. So use Hati because books is non-human plural. How will you say these are my new books? Let's see if Adnan is in the call. Okay, Adnan and Zahan are both in the call. Okay, question to you guys.
Yes.
These are my books. Is Hatihi Kutubi. How will you say these are my new books?
Hazihi.
Hatihi. How do you say these are my books?
My books. Hazihi Kutubi.
Very good. Now, how do you say these are my new books? You have to say these are my books new. New will actually come at the end. So you have to add new. Over here, it will come at the end.
Hazihi Kutubi.
Hadihi Kutubi. For new, who remembers how do we say new in Arabic? What is the word for new?
Jadidatun.
Jadidatun. Jadidun or Jadidatun. It will have to match what is there before it. Now here, will it be Jadidun or Jadidatun?
Jadidun.
Okay, Rahil Aunty says Jadidun. Is Kutub masculine or feminine? Hadia, Kutub, books. Is it masculine or feminine?
Feminine.
Why?
Because it's a non-living thing.
Very good. Non-living, plural, you will treat it like she. So you say she is houses, she is books, she is cars, she is trains. So where it is non-living, plural, you will treat it as she. So it will be Jadidatun, it will be feminine. Now, is this singular or plural? Kutub. Kutubun Adhan, is it singular or plural?
is kutubun.
It is many books, but in grammar you'll treat it as she. She is singular. You'll treat it as she, which is feminine, singular. So you will keep it as jadidatun. We'll keep it singular. And now the thing is, you'll put al here because kutubi actually has an al. These are my books. My books is definite. The reason why you don't put an al here is because you have the off rule. So these are books of mine. Kutubi. You have the ya at the end. To put the off rule, you remove the al. That is why you don't see the al here. But there is a hidden al. When you write jadid, you have to put the al so that it will match with kutub. So it will actually become al jadidatu. So it will become hadihi kutubi al jadidatu. And that is how you will say these are my new books. So how do you say, Adnan? These are my new books.
What صاحبي؟
How do you say these are my new books?
هذه كتبي الجديدة.
Al jadidatu.
الجديد.
If there is al, it will only be al jadidatu. There will only be one o. Again, how do you say these are my new books?
هذه كتبي الجديدة.
Al jadidatu.
الجديد.
Again.
هذه كتبي الجديدة.
Very good. Can you hear me, Zahan? Are you able to unmute yourself? Okay, Zahan is not able to unmute himself. Okay, next question to you, Adnan. How do you say it is close from the masjid? It meaning the school. You want to say, look, the school of mine, it is close to the masjid. How do you say this? How do you say it? How did you say this is my school? You said hatihi madrasati. Hatihi madrasati is this is my school. Now, how do you say it? How did we say it in hatihi madrasati? Which is the word for it? Or this? Hatihi is this feminine. So it feminine will be here.
Yeah.
Here is it. We will say here. Here is it. How do you say close? You say it's close by. How will you say in Urdu, the masjid is close by from the house? And I can easily go to the masjid and play Salah in Jamaat. How do you say it is close by? How will you say, Adnan? The masjid is close by in Urdu. You say qaribatun. Madrasa is feminine, so you'll not say qaribun, but you'll say qaribatun. And in Urdu you'll say madrasa qarib hai or masjid qarib hai. Here you'll say here qaribatun. Here qaribatun is it is close. Now how do you say from the masjid? The masjid is very easy. This will be al masjidi. But how do you say from? How do you say I am from India?
أنا هنديون.
Ana Hindiyun is I am Indian, but how do you say I am from India? How do you say from? You say Ana Minal Hind. So in Ana Minal Hind or Ana Minal Hindi, what is the word we use for from? You say Ana min al Hindi. So which word here means from? Which word is
Minal.
min? Very good. So min is from, al Hindi is India. So you'll say here Qaribatun, min from, how do you say the masjid?
Al. Al.
Say al masjidi. After min, you have to put kasra. So you'll say al masjidi. So here Qaribatun min al masjidi. How do you say Adnan? It is close by from the masjid.
Close by is ya Haribatu min al masjidi.
Very good. Here Qaribatun min al masjidi. Again.
Ya Haribatu min al masjidi.
Very good. Now question to Sadia. How do you say it is a big school? It has 3 doors. We saw how did they say these are new books. So we said these are books new. Same way you have to say this is a school big. And you have to say it has 3 doors. How do you say this, Sadia?
هذه مدرستي كبيرة.
So هذه مدرستي.
هذه مدرسة كبيرة.
Very good. So هذه مدرسة كبيرة. Will be this is a school big. Very good. So this is correct. How do you say it has 3 doors?
هذه ثلاثة أبواب.
So هذه is this. It has will be laha. La or
لها
li
ثلاثة أبواب.
abwabin. So how you use
أبواب.
the numbers 1 to for 3 to 9 is you'll say thalathu thalathatu as you correctly said. Would be thalathatu abwabin. So the thing which is here is abwab, it is doors, has to have kasra, and that's the rule from 3 to 9. It will be laha thalathatu abwabin. Laha thalathatu abwabin. And you say thalathatu because abwab, the singular of abwab, door is masculine. So thalatha has to be feminine. You'll use the opposite rule. You not look at abwab, but you look at masculine. You look at one door. One door is masculine. So here you will use feminine. You will say laha thalathatu abwabin. It has 3 doors or 3 entrances. Laha thalathatu abwabin. Okay, Zahan, can you unmute yourself? Because it doesn't help you much in case you're not participating. You don't get your mistakes corrected. It looks like Zahan is not able to unmute himself. So we'll continue this with you, Sadia. How do you say its doors are open now? How do you say its doors? Or doors of it are open now?
Yes, Sakib Chacha, now I'm able to unmute.
Okay, so now finally Zahan has been able to unmute himself. Okay, now Zahan or Sadia, whoever can get it correct. And whoever can get it first. How do you say doors of it? We saw in the previous one, how do we say doors? How do we say doors? How did you say doors, Sadia? You said 3 doors.
Abwabu.
Very good. So, Abwabu will actually be doors. Will not be Abwabun because it is before of. So, you have the final answer which you have said. That is Abwabu. Now, how do you say doors of it or doors of the school?
Abwabu al-madrasati.
Very good. So, Abwabu al-madrasati would be doors of the madrasa. Al-Ababu al-madrasati. How do you say open? Who remembers the vocabulary for open?
Fataha.
Very good. So Fataha is the root. It means he opened. Fataha is he opened. Yaftahu is he opened. Fatahtu like amantu. Amantu billahi or ana lakasamtu wa bika amantu wa ilayka tawakkaltu. If I put a tu at the end, if I make it fatahtu, it means I opened. Maftuhun comes from fataha. Maftuhun is a noun. It means open. So something that is open is maftuhun. So maftuhun is the noun or the adjective which means it's open.
It should be
Come again, Zahan, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking, Zahan.
bad today.
Or you can type the answer in chat in case you're able to type in Arabic. And you can skip the vowels in chat. So you can just type the letters. So Sadia, what is the answer? How do you say?
My sister's laptop.
No problem. So try typing the answer on chat. Go to Google Translate and you can open the Arabic keyboard. Okay, and it gives you all of the letters. So if you want meme, it's actually here. So meme is going to be K. No, it's going to be L. Okay. Or you could type a meme like this. You could just click on the meme and you'll get the meme. You can type the answer in chat in case your voice is not coming through. So Sadia, how do you say open? Ababul madrasati is doors of the masjid. Now how do you say they are open?
Taha miftahu.
So if you say fataha or yaftahu, it is an action. And this, because it is abwabu, it means the doors are opening. Something else. So if I say al-ababu al-madrasati fataha, here it has to be fatahat because this is ababu, it is feminine. This is al-ababu.
Abwabu al-madrasati miftahat.
It will be, no, it will not be maftahat, it will be maftuhatun.
Maftuhun.
Maftuhun will be masculine. Here abab is she, it is feminine. So it will actually be maftuhatun.
Maftuhat.
It will be maftuhatun. The hat is coming, this is the rule for past tense verb. So fataha is a past tense verb. It will become fatahat. Okay, so adding ta with the sukun is what you do to make past tense verb into feminine. For example, she opened would be fatahat. How will you say she went? She went as dhahaba. Dhahaba is he went. He went to play basketball, or he went to the madrasa. But how do you say she went? Past tense. This is where you will say dhahabat. This is where you will say dhahabat. But for nouns, how will you say female Muslim? Male Muslim is Muslimun. Muslimun is male Muslim. How do you say a female Muslim? You say Muslimatun. So the rule for noun, in most cases, and almost all of the cases, is you'll take the masculine and you'll add ta marbuta at the end. So Muslimun would become Muslimatun. In the singular case, you would add a ta marbuta at the end. So Muslimun would become Muslimatun. And that is what you do here, because Maktu Hatun is a noun. It is not an action. It is that it's being opened. The door is open, or the door is new, or the door is beautiful. Okay, so this is an adjective. It's not an action. It's that the door is being open. It's in the state of being open. So this is an adjective. So you'll not say maftuhun, but you'll say maftuhatun. You'll make it feminine. Now, who can say the answer without saying? And you need to say no. Now is al-ana. Al-ana is no. How do you say today? The doors of the school are open today, meaning the school is open today and you can go into the school. So al-ana is now. How do you say today? Today would be al-yawma. Al-yawma would be today. And why does it end with fatha? Why does it end with al-ana, al-yawma? Why does it end with a? Why does it end with a, Satya? Because this is adverb. Where you have adverbs or details to the verb, they always end with fatha. They do not end with dhamma. Dhamma is where you have an action. Dhamma is the doer. The detail ends with fatha. And this is part of the detail. This is adverb. So these are adverbs of time. So it tells you when something happened or when something was there. And these are fatha. So al-ana or al-yawma. Al-yawma is today. Here it is now. So you'll say al-ana. Now can you give this answer, Sadhya? Its doors are open now.
Abwabul madrasati maftahatun
Maftuhatun.
maftuhatun alana.
Alana, very good. So Abwabu al-madrasati would be doors of the masjid, doors of the madrasa. But we've already said madrasa in the past. So we've said this is my madrasa. It is a big madrasa. It has 3 doors. So you could say it. So you could say Abwabu ha to avoid saying madrasa. So you could say it is a big school. It has 3 doors. Its doors are open now. So if you want to say doors of it, it will become Abwabu ha. It becomes Abwabu ha maftuhatun al-ana. So again, Satya, how do you say its doors are open now?
Abwabul madrasati maftahatan alana.
Very good. Or you could say Abwabuha. So instead of Abwabu al-madrasati, I could take out the al-madrasati and I could make it Abwabuha. So Abwabu al-madrasati would be doors of the madrasa. If I say Abwabuha, it becomes doors of it. Ababuha. Ababuha maftuhatun al-ana. Would be doors of it are open now. What is the answer, Adnan? How do you say its doors are open now? How do you translate this, Adnan? The answer is on the screen. You just have to put the Zabar Zer Pesh and you have the answer. How do you say its doors are open now? You say Abwabuha maftuhatun al-ana. How do you say this, Adnan?
Oh, here. أبواب أبوابها مفتوحة الآن.
Very good. Again?
أبوابها مفتوحة
Abwabuha maftuhatun.
مفتوحة الآن.
Very good. Now let us see if you can say without saying. How do you say its doors are open now?
أبوابها مفتوحة الآن.
Very good. Abwabuha maftuhatun al-ana. You have the correct answer. Very good. Now let's see if you remember the previous answer, Adnan. How do you say is a school big? Or it is a big school?
Here
Very good. Here. How do you say school or madrasa?
هي مدرسة
Here madrasatun. How do you say big? How do you say Allah is the greatest or Allah is the biggest? What do you say after you say the niyat of salah? And how do you start your salah or your namaz?
أنا سبحانك.
Before Sana Subhanakallah.
Kabiratun. Allahu Akbar.
You say Allahu Akbar. Okay, so Akbar means greatest. So Akbar means greatest. So Akbar comes from, where does it come from, Adnan? What letters do you see? So big is Kabir. Big is Kabir. Kabir is big. From Kabirun you get Akbaru, which is the biggest. Biggest is Akbaru. Okay. So where did we have new? So we have new is Jadid. But I will tell you something which is easier. How do you say tall? Tall is Tawil. How do you say tallest? You have to make it, you have to put it in this pattern. If you put it in this pattern, you would make it tallest. How do you say tallest?
طويل.
Tawilun is tall. How do you say tallest? You say Atwalu.
أطول.
Now, how did they say new? New is Jadidun. Now, how will you say newest? This is the newest student, or this is my newest book. I have a lot of books, but this is the newest book. You say Ajdadu. In fact, I think the Arabs would combine this. So let me search Google translate, I think they would say ajuddu. They'll combine this. They say, look, ajdadu does not sound very good, so we'll make it sound good, and then make it simpler. So if I say newest, okay, so I see ahdathu from hadatha. Let me search ajuddu. Okay, so it is actually ajuddu. Ajuddu is newest. Or ajdadu. So it says ajdadu is also newer or newest. Okay, so jadidun, ajdadu is newer or newest in the same pattern. Now, how do we say small? What is opposite of kabirun? Opposite of kabirun is saghirun. What would be, Sadia, if you have to put saghirun in this pattern and say smallest? For example, this is the smallest, or say this is the shortest girl in the class, or this is the shortest classroom in the school. How will you say
Asgaru.
shortest? Asgaru, very good. So we'll put it in the same pattern and become Asgaru. Okay. So Adnan, now coming back to the main question. How do you say big? What was the word from all of these which we said for big? Allahu Akbar. Is Allah the greatest or Allah is the biggest? But what is big? What is big, Adnan? Big is this word. What is this word?
Big is
Kabirun.
kab-
Now, how do you say big feminine? Because madrasa is feminine. Madrasa has tamarbuta. It is madrasatun. Madrasa. Okay. So it has tamarbuta. How will you say big feminine? Kabirun is big masculine. Let's say kabiratun. So kabirun will become kabiratun. And it is a big school, will actually be here madrasatun kabiratun. Because here madrasatun kabiratun. Now how do we say again, Adnan? It is a big school.
here madrasatun kabiratun.
Very good. Now without saying.
Here madrasatun kabiratun.
Very good. So here madrasatun kabiratun is it is a big school. How do you say it has 3 doors? It has its laha. So laha is it has. How do you say 3 doors? What is the number for 3? Let's say laha thalathatu abwabin. What do we say, Adnan?
Laha salasatu abwabin.
Very good. Again.
Laha salasatu abwabin.
Very good. Now without saying.
Laha salasatun abwabin.
Thalathatu abwabin.
Salasatu abwabin.
Very good. Now full answer without saying. It is a big school. It has 3 doors.
Here madrasatun abwab. Here madrasatun kabiratun.
Very good.
It has laha salasatun abwabin.
Thalathatu abwabin.
Laha salasatu abwabin.
Very good. Let us see if you remember the next answer. How do you say its doors are open now? So abwabin is doors.
Yeah.
Okay, so abwabun or abwabu would also be doors. Here it would be abwabu because doors is subject. So you'll say abwabu. Doors of it are open now. Okay, so I'll say Abu, which is doors. But how do we put the rest of the sentence? How do we say doors of it are open now? This is why you need to revise after the class. Only then you'll be able to remember answers. So you'd say Ababuha maftuhatun al-ana. What is the answer, Adnan?
What already your voice was breaking.
So it is Ababuha maftuhatun al-ana.
Maftuhatun al-ana.
Very good. Again.
Abwabuha maftuhatun al-ana.
Very good. Now without saying.
Abwabuha
Maftuhatun.
maftuhatun al-ana.
Very good. Ababuha maftuhatun al-ana. Its doors are open now. Now, Sadio, this question is for you. In the school are many classrooms, or in the school there are many classrooms. How will you say this? How will you say in the school? How do you say in the school, Sadio?
Fil madrasati.
Very good. So, fil madrasati. How do you say classrooms? One classroom is faslun. How do you say many classrooms? Faslun is one classroom. Many classrooms is fusulun.
So
Fusulun is many classrooms. Now, fusulun is many classrooms. How do you say classrooms many? Many will come later. It's the adjective. So you'll say classrooms many. So you'll say fil madrasati fusulun. No, you just have to say many. How do you say many?
usulun kasirun.
Kathirun. So fusulun kathirun. Now, question is fusulun. Is it masculine or feminine?
Feminine. So
Why?
kasiratun.
Why is
Because
it
it's
feminine?
classroom. It is a non-living thing and it's plural.
Very good. So fusulun is, you'll treat it like she. So it'll actually become what you said. It will become fusulun
Kasiratun.
kathiratun. Very good.
Kasiratun.
So now you've learned non-human plural. You know how to put non-human plural. So you'll actually say fusulun kathiratun. Classrooms many. So fil madrasati fusulun kathiratun. Fil madrasati fusulun kathiratun. In the classrooms are classrooms many. What is this answer, Adnan? How do you say in the school are many classrooms? Can you hear me, Adnan?
Yes, yes. Okay, mute. في المدرسة فصول
Kathiratun.
كثيرة.
So fusulun, to match fusulun, you have to put kathiratun. This is un, this will also have un. Okay, so Zahan has bad connection. So Zahan joins next class. No problem, Zahan. So again, Adnan, what is this answer?
في المدرسة فصول كثيرة.
Very good. Fil madrasati fusulun kathiratun. Now, without saying, how do you say in the school are many classrooms?
في المدرسة فصول كثيرة.
Very good. Fil madrasati fusulun kathiratun. Let us see if you remember the previous answer of that. How do you say its doors are open now? Or doors of it are open now? How do you say doors?
uh, uh,
You'll say abwabu.
Babu,
How do you say doors of it?
door of it.
Say abwabuha.
Abwabuha,
Very good. So abwabuha is its doors. How do you say open?
Abwabuha,
Maftuhatun alana.
tuhut alana.
Very good again.
Al-maftuhatun,
Abwabuha.
Abwabuha maftuhatun alana.
Very good again.
Al-maftuhatun,
No, it is not al-maftuhatu. Al-maftuhatu would be don't you. Abwabu.
Abwabu maftuhatun alana.
Abwabuha maftuhatun alana. It has to be abwabuha. Only then it becomes its doors. Again, Adnan.
Abwabuha maftuhatun alana.
Very good. Now without saying.
Abwabuha maftuhatun alana.
Very good. Now say this answer which we just saw. In the school are many classrooms. How do you say in the school? How do you say in? In is fi. Fi sabilillahi is in the path of Allah. So in is fi. How do you say in the school?
Fi al-madrasati.
Very good. Fi al madrasati. How do you say classrooms? Classrooms is fusulun.
Fusul.
So fi al madrasati fusulun.
Fi fusulun.
You have to still say many. So you've said fi al madrasati fusulun. In the school are classrooms. How do you say many? Many is kathiratun. So say fi al madrasati fusulun kathiratun.
Fi al-madrasati fusulun kathiratun.
Very good. Now Saja, question to you. How do you say this is our classroom? How do you translate Sadia? This is our classroom. Or classroom of ours.
Hazihi firstly.
Hadihi firstly would be this is my classroom. Hadihi firstly, this is my classroom. How do you say our classroom? Rabbi is my Rabb. Rabbana is our Rabb. So when you say Rabbana, you ask prayer for all of you.
Fasalna.
Fasluna.
Faslun.
So Fasluna would be our classrooms. The next question would be Faslun. Would it be masculine or feminine?
Masculine.
Very good. So will you use hadihi or will you use something else?
Haulai fasluna.
So haulai will be wrong because haulai is masculine plural. But here it is haulai would be human plural. Here it is non-human and singular. How do you say this is my pen? How do you say this is a masjid?
Will it be haza?
Okay, hada. So hadihi is feminine. Masculine is hada. So how will you say Sadia? This is my classroom.
Haza fasluna.
Very good. Hada faslun. So this is my classroom. How will you say these are my classrooms? For example, if you're having a bunch of classrooms that you say, okay, so I'm going to attend all classrooms here, but do you go to a different classroom for language? Do you have Hindi students going this class and do you have Kannada students going that class? In your school, Sadia.
No, Sakha. It's all together.
Okay, so everyone, you only have Hindi students in your class.
Yeah. From next year, we don't have Kannada. Only.
Okay, very nice. But in my school, we used to have Tamil, we used to have Hindi, and I didn't like Hindi. Hindi was tough. I needed to put a lot of effort. So I took French. And some students took Sanskrit. Okay. So how language classes will work is 4 sections will have combined language class. So all of the Tamil students will go one class. They'll sit in one class and the Tamil teacher will come to that class. And I call this classroom A. Classroom B will be Hindi. So all Hindi students from all 4 classrooms will come to classroom B. And the Hindi teacher will come there and teach Hindi. And all French students of all these 4 classes will go classroom C. And all Sanskrit students will go classroom D. So if you wanted to say, look, all of these are our classrooms, how will you say these are our classrooms? Meaning all of these classrooms are yours because one class you sit here, one class you sit there, one class you sit there. So you are shuffling classrooms. How will you say all of these classrooms are ours? How will you say these?
Will it be hazihi fusulana?
Bihatihi fusuluna. Very good. So here, there's no reason for it to become fusula, so it will become fusulu. It will stay fusulu. The default for a noun is to stay u. So it will be hatihi. And how do you say our classroom, Sadia? You say fusuluna. Like here we had fusulun, kathiratun. Now you say fusuluna. Hatihi fusuluna. These are our classrooms. So there, where you say fusul, you'll use hatihi because these are classrooms, plural. But where you have only one classroom, you have to say masculine because fasl is masculine. So how do you say, Satya, this is our classroom?
Haza fasluna.
Hata fasluna would be, this is our classroom. How do you say this is my classroom? The difference between Rabbi and Rabbana.
Haza fasli.
Hata fasli, very good. So it's going to be Hata, or this is our classroom. Sorry, so this is our classroom. So it's going to be Hata fasluna. Okay, I was saying of my classroom. So Hata fasluna, and this is our classroom. Hata fasli would be this is my classroom. Okay, here it's Hata fasluna. How do you say, Adnan, this is our classroom? How do you say this is our classroom? You're on mute, Adnan.
هذا فصل.
Very good. Again.
هذا فصل.
Very good. Now, next question, Adnan, to you again. You have to say it is a classroom wide. Okay. Wide is wasion. So tobilun means tall or long. So long in length is tobilun. Long in width is wasion. So wasion is wide. Okay. Now wasion will come at the end. So you'll say it is a classroom wide. Wasion will come at the end. But how will you say it is a classroom? It's very easy. So it is our classroom is hada fasluna. That would be this is our classroom. How do you say it?
It.
So this is hada. Okay. But how is it? What is pronoun for the simpler pronoun for hada? How do you say it? Or how do you say he? He or it? He or it is hua. Okay. So how do you say it?
Hua.
Hua. You have to say it is a classroom wide. How do you say classroom? How do you say our classroom? You tell this answer, Adnan, and we are good. So you can go enjoy your holiday. If you tell this answer correctly.
Uh,
So Hua, how did you say this is our classroom?
Hada faslun.
Fasluna, very good. So what was classroom in Hada Fasluna?
Faslun.
Faslun, very good. So it will be Hua Faslun.
Hua
Hua
faslun.
This is it is a classroom. How do you say wide?
Wide.
Wide is Wasion.
Wasil.
Now what is the full answer?
Hua. Hua faslun wasil.
Very good. Now without saying.
Hua faslun wasil.
Wasion. Okay, very good. So go through this lesson. This is a pretty easy lesson, and we are going through a lot of rules because here we have adjective rule, we have here off rule because first one is off. This is classroom of hours. Go through this. This is basic. The next lessons get a little more tough, inshallah. So you need to know these basics on your fingertips. You should be able to say this is our classroom, Hatha first one, and only from here you'll be able to go to more difficult concepts. For that, you need to know the basics and you need to be very proficient with the basics. Okay, so revise this lesson, Sadia Adnan, and we'll start learning new lessons from tomorrow, inshallah. With that, we will close. Subhanallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। साकिब हमारी स्टोरी क्या हुई साकिब?
स्टोरी समा करेंगे इंशाल्लाह.
हाँ साकिब ओपन को फतहा नो
हो फतहा ako verb.
क्लोज को क्या साकिब?
Closed को ako mughlaqun. So closed ko it will be ghalaqa mughlaqun. That will be opposite of fataha. It will be
What is the opposite of kasirun साकिब?
kathirun.
Kasirun is many, nahi?
Many. Opposite of kathirun will be 1 minute. Kathirun is many. Opposite of kathirun is let me see Google Translate. I do not remember. Qalilun.
Okay.
So opposite of kathirun will be qalilun. It means few.
Okay. Vasiyun साकिब? Opposite of vasiyun is?
Vasiyun is wide. Opposite of vasiyun will be narrow. It would be dayyaqun. dayiqun would be narrow.
Okay. And today, Sahib, today का opposite क्या?
Today का opposite नहीं रहेगा. So today is al-ana.
Al-yawma बोले ना.
How al-yawma? Now is al-ana. Al-yawma. Al-yawma would be today. Now yesterday would be amsi.
Okay.
Or in general, if you want to say past, it will be al-madi.
Okay.
Al-madi would be past. So if we say past tense, it would be madi. Madi is past.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So tomorrow is ghadan.
Wasi. Okay. क्या माँ?
क्या मामा? Wasi?
क्या बोले सर? Tomorrow is.
Ghadan.
Okay.
Ghadan is tomorrow. In general, future. Sometime in the future, will be al-muqbil.
Al-mazi is past, no?
No, al-madi is past. Al-muqbil is future.
Gada बोले ना.
No, ghadan आपको tomorrow.
Future नहीं.
Future आपको al-muqbil. In general, future. Future can be tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next week, next month. All of that will be al-muqbil.
वासियन को क्या बोले साहिब? स्वाद, ज़्वाद, ये खाफ.